I was thinking, I try to remember because I just don't want to think about it. Just want to put my way. And that day, 1945, August 6th, I was at my grandmother's house, live a step away from Center City. But I want to tell you why I was there. About week or before, there was white paper because called
Leaflets.
that come out of us from uh, falling from sky. And I do remember a piece of paper. It was the white paper wrapped Japanese letter telling us you had to get out, you had to dangerous, and to, uh, something like that because my father read for me. And soon after government, which is like military turnover for government, they come around and pick up all the paper and telling us, do not worry. That was, folks, I mean, no, just don't worry about it, So some people will back to normal, right? But my father and my parents, so maybe we better go live at father's and my mother's side grandma's house. And maybe because my mother is pregnant and with a lot of three small children, so it's better with my grandparents by side. So that was a maybe a week before, maybe not long ago after bomb is dropped. So we was at my grandmother's house, and its neighbor's house was it's in the morning, but we are already there, and I was playing with yard, their yard, and I saw the airplane circle around, and we were so excited. That was B-29. I heard later, fighter airplane, but some reason Hiroshima is not attacked with bomb like other big city. Like Tokyo, there is a bomb. Like a whole city is a bomb. But not in Hiroshima. I don't know why. So we got excited. I never seen a real airplane. And because we saw in the picture, the book. So we just so excited. We just said, this airplane, airplane. Then all of a sudden, right, like a strong light, what do you call those?
Bright lights.
Yeah. And then um, maybe a couple seconds later, that all strong wind, like blew me off because this is so strong. And so we're staying in Japan. I remember that atomic bomb is pika, pika means right, and dome means like a wind. So we used to call it picadon. Picadon, for name of atomic bomb, because we don't know what is atomic bomb is. All we know is that the picadon, because of so we call that uh, atomic bomb is a picadon. That was for a long time. It's not really we don't. So and after we I came home to my mother's and all the houses like a dust from seeding, like old houses. So we my grandmother let us stay in a bunker, behind the I don't know how the help a bunker. And that time is my my father says grandmother was living with us in my house, but grandmother decided that she's going to go to the island. Little island has she owned the house. And next day, maybe not too long, maybe next day, he she came to see if we are okay, and she told us she had to her brother and uh, sister-in-law in a town in Hiroshima City, and the missing. She had to go find them, and so I was very close to her. So I insisted I go with her and cry, and I probably like I remember my grandmother said, "You had to take her. She's going to go nuts." So I go with her. On the way going, there's many people escape from city, and there is a bone, and there's just like I remember for the two kids with mother, they don't have any, almost naked, and she drug in a back, so there was a skin came up from the back, so they carry in the back, but many things I do remember, and there was people was not crying, not screaming, they just lost, just the walk. They're not asking for that, just got lost, don't know what to do, then. And then we went to near city for try to see stop by in my brother's house. She was he came home. I understand he came home. He died that day. Barely made it to home, but he died. But my sister-in-law was uh, told everybody got born to go to schoolyard nearby, and so we'll take care of you. But we went to that schoolyard. Was a lot of people born, almost some people maybe dead. There was just rain in a yard, just on the ground, and nobody dared to help him. And I saw that some classroom, but they are like a moving for nose, and better than nobody people out there and helping. Maybe because not enough people or not enough PPT or what they could do, no medication to no even no band-aid. So I'm sure so many people I understand this that we found the house with a bunch of people right there, and my she said, "Give me water." Just give me water. And so my grandmother give to her the water, and then I still hurt my heart that we had to leave her there. Nothing we can do. Just I still remember. Still, I hope I can do that. We can do something. Like bring home, take care of her. So that's kind of sad memory because I know her. She used to live nearby, so I always see her. But she died, and they had a son. It was a school age. They're off to school, but the missing never found the body. So she never. And there was left for little girl. I mean, three, four girls, and one is the youngest. Youngest one is my age, 1 year old. So, but she never. We pray a lot, but she never talk about parents. I know she must remember how bad they are, but she never mentioned to me. So there is a lot of kids lost the parents that day, and some of the parents lost the kids. So, but I just that is my memory for the that day. Yeah, it was horrible, just it shouldn't be like that. But that happened. Yeah.
So,
But
before the bomb dropped, how did the war impact you and your family? Can you try to discuss like how the government was, or
yeah, there is a lot of storage for the food. Because barn everything is cities all disappear. So there is no food to. There is so much like homeless. But my grandmother had a little farm, so she get the vegetable, so we don't really stop. We eat a lot of sweet potato. We never did stop experience. But there is, I understand, there is a lot of people, starved to death, and it was a big mess, you know. But it wasn't really no storage food is the before bomb. Getting through wars for food. So there is no meat. This is it was egg is very uh, best food to nutrition. So what else? Hmm.
do you want to talk about how the government was during that time?
Well, I'm a younger, so I don't know what the government is. But we are kind of people are that kind of brainwash. Now we believe doing fighting to America is a good thing. We people said fight for the country. Fight. What we told the soldier after the uh, uh, war. I said, don't even think about coming back. Fight to death. Like a really strong word. But my uncle was little island to my Hiroshima.
Iwo Jima.
Yeah, and he was there, but my grandmother want him to come back, but he can't say to come back. But her wish is so strong, and she was making for diapers. So I tied up. It was like one day when I asked my mother why she making those, and my mother said when he come back, got married, had a kids, they needed to be diapers for kids. That's why she probably wished so bad him to come back, come back to safe. That's the only way she want to express herself that the wish he'd be back. Uh, but he died for the malaria disease. Malaria, disease. He died over because the guy come back and talk to her, but it was not good enough to for. So I saw a stone.
Stone.
Like a write it down the stone for the grave.
Mm-hmm.
Write to them. He was dead to fight with the enemy, which is American. So that's not true, but they had to write that way because not good enough for to be dead with the malaria, you know. But he was dead over there, and then my grandmother was so adored with him, and her life is end that time. You know, he was so unhappy. He never recovered for lost of my uncle. You know, so until she died, she wasn't not herself. She always sad face and never happy. So
Were people afraid of the government during this time?
of course he just the government was a military cut over. So we was afraid. There is no demonstration. They can't talk about it to against the war. So if you do, they put you in jail. They have a special police look around some people against the war or against the government and military. So of course they are kind. We are America is enemy. America is a monster. America is like a devil. You know, like a just a belief. You know, like a just probably like a North Korea or something. But we I think no way we can do anything. We just go for. I mean, we are not. We just as it is, you know. But just we don't wanna. We can't say we are against. You know, no way. We don't have a right to say anything. Yeah.
So during the war, there was a great deal of anger towards the United States because they were the enemy.
Oh, of course, yeah. America, we can read it. American, I mean, English book. English book is destroyed because it's an enemy things and no English at all. You know, yeah. So I know some people are a lot of people are against the war, but it's just not enough to say anything. Yeah. All right.
And how about after the war? Was there a lot of anger towards the Americans?
No, but just after war, everybody's so happy because no longer we don't have to listen to government military. We don't like I think of military people because they have so strong power. So afterwards, people was really happy. No more war. You know, we don't have to go in a war, and we don't have to. Just we got the freedom. Everybody happy, and we are, you know, we are just be happy to be no more war. So we never had a. Uh, I think we accepted, and we know that America is like American people we call soldier the GI. I don't know why, you know, like a American soldier, and they are like a friendly, you know, like not like what they talk about is that they are friendly. And I remember when I was kid, the guy soldier gave to us a chocolate, hand to us chocolate, and the one thing I love is just like a chewing gum, which we never had, and many people love chewing gum, and we're just happy, you know. I even if he get bombed, they are like accepted. You know, even though terrible things to them, you know, but
What about in Hiroshima itself after the bomb? Were people really mad at?
no, I don't think so. I never. Uh, people not happy for they had it because they have a scar. Some people had a scar on the face and the body, and we are kind of discrimination for them. People think maybe, oh, they have, if you get married and had kids, maybe affected the kids. And so most of women had a scar or some they can't get married because they don't want. But this is maybe the kind of disease, like some so most people that I don't see that people have scum and maybe they're hiding. They're kind of shame or look for look at the face. They just staying inside. So I never see next.
So there wasn't a lot of conflict between the Americans and the Japanese right after the war?
No.
No?
No. Maybe Japanese are forgettable person. I don't know. It's just maybe you drop it in I think Batman in Korea. Maybe different story. But we okay with it. Because I'm still thinking good things. I know Russia tried to get to Japan, but America, there was MacArthur. He didn't. He he help us not to Russia don't come and together. Who knows? Maybe if Russia is involved, maybe we're half. Half of the north of Japan is Russia, and south of Japan, America. I mean Japan. Like America took over, but that's not happened. I'm glad. Just Japan is safe. From Russia. So yeah.
So how significant was the change to a democratic Japan?
Oh, that's free speech, more likely, and there is a government, no more military. So very happy they had to start from scratch, and they are going in the top because we don't have a TV, so we don't. Only way that we get the little news was when we go on the movie theater. They show before movie start. They show what happens. So I read, but they have everything new. Like from everything for a different way to deal with it. Yeah.
So you were too young to remember how the school was during the war, but could you comment about how school was after the war?
Yeah, I remember. School started April in Japan. I was first grade after war, and textbook was all destroyed because like a no more for America's enemy. Also, all the textbook destroyed and had to get the new book for text. So the book is not ready. So they give us like a piece of paper, and my mother for just put together. That is my my school book. First year is my school book, and there is when we went to school, there is no glass in the window covered up with a paper. So it was so damaged in it. It was glasses, put glasses maybe take about 2 years because it was cold in the winter. So it was no glass in the window. But there is when we went start school, there is no the American people give us pencil and all the supply for school work.
So you said the textbooks were destroyed. Did someone destroy them or were they?
No, they had to change because we had a so simple way to writing, and well, they had to be, had to be this, had to get the new one and everything. Yeah.
So did the Americans mandate like a change in writing?
Mm.
Or did that just happen after the war?
What?
Well, let's go to a different question. Let's say, have you been back to Japan, and how is it different from your memories?
Well, I came for 1969, so there is a different way because right after war, right after soldier came, some of the soldier got fall in love with Japanese woman and got married, and they came bring here. But that time is 1945, between 1946 to maybe 50, 1950. There is no airplane. There is airplane, but it's just, too expensive or something. They have a boat ship. They have a called War Bride. So I must be so hard to live in here, but because they don't speak English, that's not enough to. So maybe their life is hardship. But when I came, was I'm not. My husband worked in military base, but he wasn't soldier. He was company. He worked company. So uh, so he's a contractor or something.
Military contractor?
Yeah, and he worked in a computer company. And they had to set the computer installation team, what do we call? And you should see, I don't think kid knows, so big. They had a computer room. Machine was so big. Like, so,
Well, what year did you come to the U.S.?
US is just people are settled. Not much. I don't even want to come here. I came with my 1968 for with my husband had a vacation, so I came here at Pennsylvania. There is nothing, no Japanese food, no Japanese restaurant, and I don't like it here. I just when I came back, I stopped in San Francisco. There is a Japanese restaurant there. So my husband said, you go home one day. So no, I have to eat now. So I ate the Japanese food day before come back here because I was so, craved to eat the Japanese.
Did you face any discrimination when you came here?
No, I don't know. Maybe I had a hard time to have a friend. And I got kind of sick, getting skinny, and can find out. And when my daughter 3 years old, 1973 or so, one doctor said, "You're homesick. You should go back for your while." So we went back to Japan for stay about 3 months. Yeah. And come back here, be kind of okay.
But so no.
But I don't feel discrimination. But maybe I don't notice. Just that happened. Maybe discrimination. I'm not sure. Yeah.
How did Papa's parents react to you?
My mother-in-law told me she doesn't care as long as somebody take care of him, put the bottle in his shoes. So they're nice to me. That they seem to be they are very nice. The whole family was accept me.
Accept you?
Even though they have a country living in Indiana. And I remember kids stare at me because they never see Japanese Oriental probably.
They never saw Japanese people in
Yeah.
Indiana?
So kids were so, they just stare at me for a long time, and it's just that had my mother-in-law even don't have even soy sauce, and so it was really hard, and I don't like water. Doesn't taste same. Japan has the best water, but I don't really care for water.
And you
So
guys got married in secret, right?
mm, not secret, but I just better to get married before I see the family. So we just got married at Reno, Nevada, just like
Eloped?
no,
Las Vegas?
no, not rope. So we just, what are you talking about? Yeah.
And so your family didn't have a choice to support the war during the war. But did their view change because of the bomb or no?
Well, people were so busy for living, they had to survive. And my mother raised for a chicken, just enough to feed us and sell a little bit, get income. And she made a soy sauce, and she made her own soybean paste, and she get the money from making those for your wife. So I I think people just have to live for survive. So they don't really. I think that there's no choice. Don't want,
Now, we learn in our textbooks all the time that the government was teaching all the citizens how to defend against an American invasion with like pots and pans or whatever it may be. Do you have any recollection of that?
Yeah, they was told we had to donate all the like a pots and pan to make a airplane or something. So they are told all the jewelry have to be donated. But I understand some some people don't give to them. Just don't want to do that. So yeah, and we lots of people go in the country try to get the food. They don't have. I think they don't have any money. And currency. What do you call it? That is,
Currency?
yeah, currency. No currency. So we took clothes to the country to exchange for food. So
Now, I know Hiroshima was like basically destroyed after the bomb,
mhm.
and now they have the Peace Park, which I've been to, which is very nice. But how long did that whole recovery process take? I know you moved from Hiroshima.
No. I was there until I was 23 years old.
So did you see the rebuilding of Hiroshima during that time? And were the Americans involved in that process?
I'm not sure. I think it's just, far as I know, the American not really involved in because they're little by little, and city was all the like a street is all the new, like there was nice setup. There is no uh, just straight line, and they took over also easy for government to do that, I think.
But was it rapid or did it take a long time?
Well, I'm not sure how long, but I don't think it would take too long because uh, Japanese people work hard to get to where we got, So I don't really think it's just too hard to, didn't take too long. Yeah. Yeah,
Well, those are mainly the questions we have. If there's any others that we could possibly answer.
this is, this one here.
The traditions?
No,
Do you want me to ask them?
no, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But the one question is, were Japanese tradition kept after the war? Yeah, we are Japanese. American can change for we are Japanese. We have to live Japanese style, All, all like New Year's and all the festival. We all just about. I don't think America uh, want us to change living style. We do. In Japan, just I remember I told the people like Japanese is when the kid's born, we go on the shrine, which is what shrine is.
Mhm.
Anyway, one of the religious go shrine to pray for kids' future to healthy, and we every like 3 years, 7 years, we all go on the shrine. And when you get married, some of the people get married with the Christian church, Catholic church, some church, because it's a simple, don't cost much money. So get married, but when people die, we go Buddhist. Like most people die in the Buddhist, but people don't understand why, So Japanese is a tradition, and then they not because they are Christian, not because they are, they just accept for Buddhist and Shinto.
So actually, a question that wasn't on here that I just thought of. I know way before World War II, there was like a purge on Catholicism in Japan. But before World War II, was there a large Catholic population, and did that
No,
grow?
I don't think so.
Did that grow in result of American occupation?
Yeah, also because they have I read the English classes in the church, and one of I remember every Wednesday called the chapel or something, like a priest pray for us in English. No, maybe Japanese. I don't know, but he was really serious, to pray to God. But I remember just uh, whenever it was like was 10 years old when I start to so like start before middle school, start English learning. My mother sent to the school for learn English, and the priest telling uh, God made house, God made food, and I saw myself, no, God didn't make, because my carpenter did. I know it. Like a food is uh, like a farmer made it. Like that's not true. God made everything. Like I just kind of like you know, that one is remember. Yeah. Yeah. What else?
Do we have any?
Yeah, should we take some questions? Okay. So, gentlemen, and any teachers in the audience, if you want to throw a question in the Q&A box, Ms. McElroy, do you want to read them out, or I can read them? Either way. Do you want me to? Okay. All right. Let's see what we got. Okay, here's a question. Did you stay in touch with old childhood friends once you were in America?
Not really.
Hmm.
I don't know why I don't really touch with them.
Hmm.
What about like family in Japan?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
kept in touch?
At that time, telephone was so expensive.
Hmm.
People don't. Still in 1970, telephone was very expensive.
Hmm.
And people don't own the phone in the uh, private system. They have maybe a company or big shot in the company. These people had a very limited telephone.
Hmm.
So you weren't
You had to
able.
pay for
You weren't
a
able to
lot
talk to
of
them.
yeah, a lot of money to pay for it, and so we uh,
Would you write to any of them?
yeah, I write to sometimes some people, but I was just busy for adjusting the American, So uh, one thing is, I wish I had a book to how to live in America
Hmm.
and how to even Japanese book how to raise a kid. I had that one book, Doctor Spock. You know that Doctor Spock.
Hmm.
That is in my book to raise a. I don't have any Japanese book. The Doctor Spock is in my book, and I don't know even existing now.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know what that book is, but
Yeah. Oh no, Dr. Spock. Maybe he's a little old-fashioned, but I am familiar with him.
That's the only book how to raise the kids. So yeah, before that helped me. People get sick and why my daughter don't sleep and how to, take care. That is my only book I had.
Okay. Any other questions? Please ask in the. Oh, yes, we got one. Okay. Um. Oh, okay. Do you feel like the American teaching in schools about the bombing of Hiroshima does your experience justice?
well, do you know anything about the American
Oh, that's a yeah.
way of how they teach it?
I don't really think it's that America involved later what to do for us, our style, how to live. They're not really tell us how we had to live, how we had to think. Just direct, like they kept the emperor. Uh, so that is important for the symbol of Japanese. So that was I think it's just to help us to get back to normal. You
Well,
know.
one thing is that in America, there's like an ongoing debate. Always is if the bomb should have ever been used, or should atomic bombs even exist? Is that
Yeah,
a debate in
yeah.
Japan?
Atomic bomb is a first and last, and American people don't even know what affected the human beings. Even afterwards, how the dangerous for nuclear. People die after 5 years and 10 years. Like my grandmother died of 6 years later for stomach cancer. So people die afterwards. 150, 200,000 people die from it. Yeah, because when I was in the States, many people tell me that the bomb is uh, good because the end of war. That's true. But you tell a bomb survivor or dead people that it's okay to have a bomb. But that's not true. There is a baby and children and women and old people. They die for you just tell them it's okay. That's not okay to me. Uh, uh, I hope just not happens again, because now bomb nuclear is 500, 1,000, too stronger than they drop in Japanese. Just destroy everything if they had, because many people own the nuclear in many countries. But that's not, to me, it's not fair to tell it's okay to got the bomb, because that's not okay. Just uh, to me, I just don't like that talk. Even the old adults telling me, that's okay, but it's just we hope not happens again. Just what else? Next question.
Next question. Okay. Oh, there's a question about where you settled in America. So I know that you said you lived in Pennsylvania and Indiana. When did you come to New
Okay.
Jersey?
Oh, I told my husband I don't like to stay. If we can go back to the Korea and other countries, that's fine. But we came here, Pennsylvania, where his company is.
Mm-hmm.
So we lived there about 6 months or so, and I had my daughter. So he said, "Oh, better to stay in America because it's easy to take care of the kids."
Mm-hmm.
So we stayed 3 to 6 months to the Pennsylvania and moved to Omaha, Nebraska, where my daughter born, Omaha, Nebraska, and we stayed about over a year, and we had I really don't like it there because too much thunderstorm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like big thunderstorms. I never see like that thunders, like a Japan. The thunder is just like a not big things, but at Omaha, Nebraska, like a big, like like it's so. I just scared. I don't like it there. When my husband get the job to the California,
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to go California. So I like it there, California. We stay about 25 years there, and my after that we retired. My husband retired, and then my daughter had a baby, and she said that if you stay in California, we can just go for something the reason. We just can't happen to go. So we moved to Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and because she had a dog camp, like a big dog, Doberman.
Mm-hmm.
They can bring to the Manhattan because weight limit.
Oh, Manhattan?
Manhattan, they only have allowed to have a 25 pound. No big dog like that. So we said, okay, we take care, but we stay there and take care of a dog, a sergeant. He is really nice dog.
What year did you go to live in Summit in New Jersey?
Oh, then my daughter got to stay there. She said, "Oh, come on and live with us because we need help. The career baby." So I told my daughters, when you find me a apartment or condo that we can go any walking distance in the city, of what I mean. I don't want a country. I like to see. I said, I can go walking distance any place like I like here. I can go post office, and I can go library.
But what year did you come to New Zealand?
2002 or 2003. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And now I live at 17 years now. You're 1 year old, so 17.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
17 years in Summit.
Summit. Okay.
Too cold for me. I don't. Winter is a nightmare because I don't like a cold weather. Yes.
You miss California?
Yeah, California. I love California.
Where did you live in California?
Bay Area.
Bay
What
Area?
near Berkeley Heights, Berkeley School. There is a Berkeley, California. The Berkeley Heights. You think we could know it, right? Huh?
Berkeley.
Berkeley.
University.
Yeah. University Berkeley.
Oh, Berkeley. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And the San Francisco, California, San Francisco School. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Did you find that you were able to join any Japanese and Japanese American communities in the United States?
No,
No.
there is a funny thing is that I have a friend, Japanese friend, but they all married to American.
Mm.
It's easy to have a friend has the same situation. I think even now I'm here. I have a couple that's married to the American or foreigner, and I think understand each other. Even the background is different, you know. So yeah.
All right. Do we have any more questions? I think we can take a couple more. If anyone has any. Let's see. I see a hand raised, but that's not really a question. Okay, last call. This is a great opportunity. So if you have any questions, please ask them. And Mr. Doherty and Ms. McElroy, please jump in if you have questions as well.
I don't have a question. I just want to, I really want to thank you, Miyoko. You've really brought to life what it was like to live through this and what it means for the students that are watching, that are going to be the leaders of our country going forward. And I want to publicly say that Kevin has asked fabulous questions and follow-up questions.
Yeah.
Really a fabulous, fabulous job.
Yeah, I'm not a peace advocate. I just want to say is that don't hate people. Don't use the hate. I understand different opinions, so you could say you don't like, but never use the hate. Try to understand each other. Try to more understand the people. Keep warm heart. What I'm trying to say.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, good luck to your future, and be good for the world. That would be. I'm sure some of the people will be like a senator, even uh, even president. Who knows? Yeah. And I'm glad I could talk because before this is the first time I talked about the war. I mean, war bombs, especially bombs, because uh, I still remember in my mind for what happened. It's still there to me that I just don't want to. I want to keep my heart just still. Sometimes I can't go to sleep for that. Just I to remember what happened to my great aunt. Last time I saw was really still painful to be go through with it.
Well, I personally learned a lot because she doesn't tell me these things. So,
Yeah, I never talked to my.
no, she doesn't.
We never discussed on a house, and I never. I just wish now I talked to my mother about it, but we never talk about it.
This is so I'm so glad you both said that. This is so important that you talk to your family. History is not a book, it's lived. And if we don't know our own family history, it takes away from what you're reading in your book. And Kevin and all of our students contribute when you're studying what's going on, and if Kevin had not said my grandmother was in Hiroshima, not only would we not know that, but we would never, ever have learned what we have learned today. So
I tried to
talk
I
to your
didn't,
family.
I didn't tell people like I was in Hiroshima. I tried to stay away. Like I said, oh, I'm a Osaka.
Right.
I couldn't say it because I really because many people asked me. So yeah. I'm glad.
Thank you again. It's been wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Do you think it's enough to understand me? I mean,
yeah.
I did something right. I don't know. Yeah.
You did. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, the sound was great. And thank you, Kevin. You were a fantastic moderator.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Should we hand it over to Mr. Doherty with the examen to close us out?
No, I asked him who that man is.
That's Mr. Doherty.
Mr. Doherty. nobody tell me, but
I think he's going to lead us in a reflection of some sort.
Oh, okay.
That's usually how people react to me. Who is this man? Thank you so much. That was really wonderful, really, really beautiful and powerful. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here with us today. And I'm also going to join everybody in saying, Kevin, you did a great job facilitating. This is really wonderful. Thank you for letting me be a part of it, to lead the prayer here. Hi, everybody. Real quick before we start the prayer, I just want to say it's good to virtually see you all. Thank you all for the thoughts and prayers while my family was welcoming our second child. Really meant a lot of kind messages from all of you at Prep. Really, really appreciated it. So it's nice to be back virtually, at least with you all right now. And we are going to close out our assembly as we always do with a short examen prayer. And when we were talking in campus ministry about kind of how best to do an examen, following up on this particular assembly and this particular topic, we thought that it might be worthwhile to share another perspective, another experience of the bombing of Hiroshima from our Jesuit tradition. Some quotes from one of our famous Jesuits who was there to use as kind of the basis for our reflection and prayer. So I'm going to give you a little bit of context and then we'll move into the actual meditation. So Father Pedro Rupe is a name you've probably heard before. He was the 29th Superior General of the Society of Jesus, which means he was the leader of the Jesuits. He coined the phrase men for others, that's why we say it. He founded the Jesuit Refugee Service, and he inspired Jesuits to rediscover their mission to live their faith through service and social justice. This is why our annual Faith and Justice Summit is named Rupe Week. We do a lot of things in his honor. But years before he was a superior general, he was a younger Jesuit, and he was assigned to serve and minister in Japan. He lived and worked in Nagatsuka on the outskirts of Hiroshima. He was present when the United States dropped the atomic bomb on the city, and along with his fellow Jesuits, hurried to tend to the survivors. As a younger man, he had studied to be a doctor, and he used his medical skill, that amount that he had, to care for the wounded and the dying. He saw up close the devastation caused by the bomb, the long-term effects of radiation poisoning, all the kind of destruction and death that we heard about earlier today. This experience changed him forever and convinced him that humanity must come together if we want to avoid annihilating ourselves. For today's examine, we will reflect on several quotes from Father Rupe, taken either from an account that he wrote of the bombing and its aftermath, or from a reflection that he offered on its 25th anniversary. So let's begin now, as we always do, just by taking a moment to quiet ourselves, become present to this moment, and to become aware that we are in the presence of God, now and as always. So wherever you are, I know that's a lot of different places, try to let all the sounds and distractions of the world fade away. Find kind of a quiet place in your heart to spend this meditation. Let there be nothing between you and God. Now take just a moment to ask God for the clarity to reflect on what you have heard today and will hear with an open heart and an open mind. We often talk about finding God in all things at Prep. So how can you find God in this morning's program? Take this moment now to ask for the grace to be open to however God might speak to you through this meditation. When Father Rupe and his fellow Jesuits first saw the survivors of Hiroshima and realized the extent of the devastation, they were shocked. He later wrote, "We did the only thing that could be done in the presence of such mass slaughter. We fell on our knees and prayed for guidance, as we were destitute of all human help." Thinking about your own life, have you ever felt overwhelmed by the world's problems? Have you ever wanted to make a difference, but felt that those problems were too huge, too complex for you to have any impact? Have you ever felt despair or hopelessness when you see the news? In those moments where you struggle to find hope in our world and the struggle to make a better world, where do you find strength to keep going? Who or what helps you to carry on? Take a moment to reflect. Father Rupe continues, "I had studied medicine many years earlier, and I ran back to the house to find medical supplies. I found the medicine chest under some ruins. I retrieved some iodine, aspirins, and bicarbonate of soda. Those were the only supplies at a time when 200,000 victims needed help. What could I do? Where to begin? Again, I fell on my knees and implored God's help. It was then that he helped me in a very special way, not with medications, but with a simple and essential idea. We decided to clean the house as best as we could and tried to accommodate as many of the sick and wounded as we could possibly fit inside. We were able to take only 150. Like Father Rupe, we may often find that the best we can do are small acts of service. Maybe this doesn't seem like much. But think about a time when you performed a small act of kindness or service for someone in need. What difference might it have made for that person? How did it help to alleviate their suffering or strengthen them in their struggles? What are other ways that you can respond to the suffering of the world in big and small ways? Take another moment now to reflect. Reflecting 25 years later, Father Rupe wrote, "Neither gunpowder nor dynamite nor atomic power would destroy humanity if there were not hatred. The antidote for hatred is what we call love. And the effect of love is the countersign of war, peace." Looking at today's world, where do you see hate? What are the things that separate us from one another, that drive human beings to violence and aggression? How can you be a force for love and for peace in your own community? In the words of St. Francis, where are you called to be an instrument of God's peace? One final quote from Father Rupe. "How much time teaches us. History is the teacher of life, but only on condition that we know how to read her lessons." So what lessons can you and all of us learn from the story you heard today? What lessons does this story hold for our world, for our country, for the entire human race? What do you hope that we will learn? One more time, take a moment to reflect. Now take a minute just to speak to God in silence about what you've heard, learned, and thought about this morning. Where do you want to go from here? Where might God be calling you to go? Speak to God directly, as you would to a friend. In a few moments, we will close with a prayer. Let's close our examen now with the personal prayer of Father Pedro Rupe. Grant me, O Lord, to see everything now with new eyes, to discern and test the spirits that help me read the signs of the times, to relish the things that are yours and to communicate them to others. Give me the clarity of understanding that you gave St. Ignatius. Amen. St. Ignatius of Loyola, pray for us. St. Peter, pray for us. And St. Francis Xavier, patron saint of Japan, pray for us. Thank you all very much for your attention.
All right, thank you everyone. That closes our program. Thank you all so much for joining us for this really special morning assembly. And thank you again, Miyoko and Kevin. That was really wonderful. All right, and of course, Ms. McElroy for setting this all up. Incredible. Okay, have a great morning. Enjoy your day.